I really thought I had it all. A great wife, an amazing little boy, and a home that actually felt happy. But then, out of nowhere, a simple medical test turned my whole world upside down. What I found out didn't just break my heart, it changed everything I believed about my life. This is how I found out my son isn't actually mine. I, 36M, have been married to my wife, 34F, for 8 years. Our son is 7 now. From the outside, we were the typical happy family, matching pajamas on Christmas, birthday parties with bouncy castles, bedtime stories, and kisses goodnight. I loved being a dad. I was the hands-on parent, the diaper changer, the lunch packer, the homework helper. He even had my dimples. Or so I believed. Last year, I got seriously ill. A rare autoimmune condition, not life-threatening, but it required surgery. Doctors asked about my family medical history. Easy enough, until we got to my wife's side. She dodged the question. Said she didn't remember. Okay, I didn't press her. But then I decided to take a DNA test, mostly for medical reasons, just to cover our bases. On a whim, I ordered one for my son too. I thought it would be cute to compare. We could do the ancestry thing together. I didn't think twice about it. Until the results came back. I stared at the screen for what felt like an eternity. This had to be a mistake. I called the company. I paid for a second test, this time through a licensed clinic. Same result. 0% match. I went numb. I couldn't even cry. I just sat there, feeling like the floor had fallen out from under me. How could this be? We were together when he was conceived. Or were we? I confronted my wife. Calmly at first. I told her I had taken a DNA test, and that the results didn't add up. Her face went white. First, she denied it. Then she tried to gaslight me. DNA tests aren't 100% accurate. Then she blamed me. Maybe you're not who you think you are. Finally, she cracked. She admitted she had a one-night stand during a rough patch early in our relationship. She was drunk, she said. It meant nothing. She told me she never told the guy, didn't even have his number anymore. I asked for a name. She refused. That night, I slept on the couch. But I couldn't sleep. So I did some digging. I checked her old email account, the one linked to our joint bank account. Guess who she's been emailing for years? The biological father. She never told him about our son. But they were in regular contact. Flirty messages. Inside jokes. A few old photos. Even worse? He lived in the same city. Less than 20 minutes from our home. She swore they hadn't seen each other in person. But at that point, I couldn't believe a single word she said. Here's the thing. Through all of this, my biggest concern wasn't even her. It was him. My son. The little boy who calls me dad. The one who runs to the door when I get home. The one I stayed up with when he had nightmares. He's my son. Blood or not. So I made a decision. I would divorce her. I would fight for custody. And I would never let him feel like he was unwanted, not even for a second. The divorce was messy. She tried to play the victim. But I had the proof. I got 50-50 custody. I told my son, when the time was right, in the gentlest way I could. He cried. I cried harder. But he hugged me and said, "You're still my dad." That was the moment I knew I'd be okay. My ex, let's call her Lily, tried calling and texting me for days after the truth came out. I ignored every single message. I just couldn't take more lies, more excuses, but then she sent a photo. It was of Ethan, my son, holding up a crayon drawing. In it, the two of us were fishing. Just like last summer when I taught him how to bait a hook. Underneath, her message said, "He's been asking for you every day." I went over. Not for her, for him. When I got there, she looked like a ghost. Pale, tired, empty. She handed me a sealed envelope and said, "Please open this." I hesitated, but curiosity and maybe some part of me still needing answers made me do it. It was another paternity test, one she'd done privately, hoping the first was wrong. I wasn't Ethan's biological father, but then the part that really broke my brain, the man she thought was Ethan's real father, also not a match. Yeah, the guy from a one-night stand during a break I never even knew about wasn't the dad either. That's when she admitted the truth. There was another guy, someone she slept with once during a rough patch in our relationship. She never told anyone, not even her closest friends. So now, not only am I not the father, she doesn't even know who is. I left. I couldn't stay in that house for one more second. I went home, sat in silence, and just stared. 7 years of memories suddenly rewired. And then that night, Ethan FaceTimed me. He was giggling about a bug he saw in the yard. Asked if we could go to the park soon. Told me he missed me. To him, nothing had changed. And that crushed me, but it also anchored me. So here's where things are now. I got a lawyer. I'm pursuing legal guardianship, or at the very least, formal visitation rights, because I may not share his DNA, but I raised him. I read him bedtime stories. I taught him how to ride a bike, and no one's going to tell me I'm not his father. Lily and I, we're done. That trust, gone. She says she really believed I was the dad. But hiding other hookups while we were together? That says otherwise. I've started therapy. It's not easy. Some mornings I wake up and forget. And then the truth hits like a truck, but therapy is helping me pick up the pieces. My family and friends have been incredible. At first, they were furious, told me to walk away. But once they saw I wasn't just sticking around out of guilt that I love Ethan, they got it. My sister said something that stuck with me. DNA doesn't make a dad. Showing up does. She's right. So what now? I'm co-parenting in the weirdest, messiest version of it you can imagine. Lily and I live separately. We have a routine. Ethan gets time with me every week. I told him, in simple words, that sometimes families change, but love doesn't. He still calls me dad. Lily says she might have a new lead on the biological father. Honestly, I don't know how to feel. Part of me worries Ethan might bond with him, that I'll be replaced, but another part of me knows love isn't limited. If I keep showing up, if I stay steady, I'll always be a part of his life. If you're still listening, thank you. This story isn't tied with a pretty bow. It's raw and real and painful, but it's also full of love. I went from thinking I had the perfect life to learning that sometimes being a father means choosing to stay, even when you didn't have to, and to anyone going through something similar, you are not alone. I'll update again when I can. For now, I'm just taking it one day at a time with my son. It's been almost a year since everything unraveled, since I learned Ethan isn't biologically mine, since Lily's secrets came to light, since the life I thought I had shattered right beneath my feet. But if you're still here, if you followed this story from the beginning, you deserve to know where things stand now. So here it is. Ethan turned 8 last month. We threw a party at the park, his favorite one, with the big blue slide and the old oak tree we carved our initials into years ago. He invited his friends, wore his silly crown all day, and asked me to make my world-famous spaghetti for dinner. It's just regular spaghetti, but he swears it tastes better than anyone else's. At one point during the party, he ran up to me, gave me a tight hug, and said, "I love you, Dad. You're the best part of my whole life." I had to turn away so he wouldn't see me cry. The truth is, I almost gave up after everything that happened. There were nights I felt like I was drowning, trying to make sense of a world that had flipped upside down. But Ethan never changed. Not once. To him, I was still the one who tucked him in, told the corniest jokes, and made him feel safe. And that mattered more than DNA ever could. Legally, I've been granted shared custody. It took a few months, multiple hearings, and a lot of therapy sessions to get there. But the court recognized the bond Ethan and I have. They saw the photos, the school events, the medical records, all with my name on them. More importantly, Ethan asked the judge if he could still live with me sometimes. He said he's my dad. He always has been. I'll never forget that moment. As for Lily, we're civil now. Nothing more, nothing less. She did eventually track down Ethan's biological father. He wanted nothing to do with the situation. Didn't want to meet Ethan. Didn't want to get involved. Cool, but maybe it was for the best. I don't think Ethan ever needs to know that part, at least not yet. There's been a silver lining in all this. I've grown as a man, as a father, as a person. I've learned that love isn't just a feeling. It's a choice you make every single day. To stay, to show up, to fight for someone who needs you. And I chose Ethan. Every time. One more thing. I met someone. Her name is Claire. She works with kids too. A pediatric nurse, actually. We met through a mutual friend and clicked almost immediately. She's patient, kind, and Ethan adores her. He told me recently, "You smile more now, Dad." I like it. I do. I really, really do. So this is the final update. No more twists. No more heartbreak. Just peace, healing, and a little boy who still calls me Dad.